Hello again. So this is part 2 of the extended version of the dealmyhomegame.com introduction video. We'll start with video 3. For videos 1 and 2, either see the first introductory video or parts 1 and 2 in their separate forms on the dealmyhomegame.com YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/dealmyhomegame. So in order to create a new game, we're going to log on to Deal My Home Game as the player. So in video 1 we created player test DMHG1. So if I go to log in, I can log into Deal My Home Game as normal. And to create a new game, there's a new game option on the side here, at the top here, or in the drop down list on the top right. You can click to new game. In order to create a new game on the system, it's very simple. You need a few basic ideas about the game: where it is, when it is, how long it's scheduled to go on for approximately, that sort of thing. So we'll go straight ahead. We'll assume this game is going to take place in Oxford. The idea of this Google Maps section of the new game is to create an idea of where the game is. It doesn't have to be deadly accurate, but the more accurate the better, obviously. The location you select on the Google Map dictates which dealers are told about the new game. So if I know the game is in Cumnor, there's no point in clicking on Wheatley, although it may be accurate enough. It may be enough that it's inside some dealers' areas and not others. So if I know that it's in Cumnor, but I don't need to be any more accurate than that, I can click once on the map there, and it will literally put a poker chip marker on the map, and that is all I need to do with regards to the Google Maps. So I can put test address 1. There you go. Now the extra detailed directions is if you've got a named house, or if it's slightly difficult to find, if it's on a no-through road, if the parking's a bit odd, then this is the sort of thing that needs to go in the extra direction details. Named house called Ship It 10 up on the right. So that way, when you accept the tender and this information all gets sent to the dealer, they'll also get this information, which is obviously quite vital in terms of finding the game and dealing it for you. There's a nice pop-up for the date and time of the game. So if we go, we know that it's going to be on August the 1st at about 8 o'clock to start with, and we know that it's going to go on for about 6 hours. It's due to stop at about 2 AM. It asks you to check the box if it's likely to run until after midnight, and it asks you which poker variant the game is. At the moment, Deal My Home Game only has those 4 and another please specify below option. By all accounts, I'm happy to add any other poker variants that the users require, so please let me know either via email or via Twitter. I'm at DealMyHomeGame. For now, we'll have a standard no limit hold'em game. Any other details about the game you can put in here. Create game on the system, and it's as simple as that. We can click the game here now, and there we are. It's been created. So you can see the top game here is the game we have just created that goes on the 1st of August, and we can see that there's no dealer yet because we've just created it. It's going to go on for 6 hours. I have the option to cancel the game here, but we'll go into this games list in the next video. Okay, video 4 is called Viewing Your Games. It is a fairly quick video, this one. You can view games as a dealer and as a player, and they're slightly different, the views that you get. So if you were watching video 3, you'll know that we left it off in the games page of our test player, test DMHG1, and we just created this game that happens on the 1st of August, and you can see that each game has its own games link, and in here it tells you whether there are any dealers that are interested in dealing your game yet, or if there are none. You've also got the option, if the game is in the future, to cancel the game. What cancelling the game does is literally just removes it from the system. So if a dealer is already putting a tender in for that game, then that tender will be removed from their list, and the game will literally cease to exist. It's useful if you've made a mistake creating the game, or if for any reason the game gets cancelled at all, then it's useful to have this option. Obviously, clicking on any of these links goes to the actual game. So here we go. This is the game we've just created in the last video. We can see the game owner, when it's happening, what kind of game it is, whether it's a late game, i.e. after midnight, and its status. And its status is available. As the game owner, we get to see a table below of any dealers that are interested in dealing our game. As you saw in the games page, which I'll click on again, there's one here where a dealer is ready. If I click on this game and we scroll down again, we can see that there's a dealer who doesn't live too far away. Costs £10 an hour to deal for us, and we have the option to confirm and pay for that dealer if we want. So it's very exciting. We've got our game. We've put it out to tender. A dealer has come back to us saying, I'm happy to deal your game, and it's up to us at this point if we want to confirm and pay for that dealer. By confirming and paying, I'm not suggesting you pay for the whole game. The deposit is charged as 2 hours at the dealer's standard pay rate. Now obviously if more than one dealer has put in a tender for the game, then they'll all be listed in this table below the map. If I log out quickly and log back in as the dealer, you'll be able to see the games page from the dealer's perspective as well. So in the games page as a dealer, I get to see the map showing my area of influence as we created in video 2, and I get to see these new games, and I can click on them, and it shows me when the game is, what kind of game it is, and the fact there's a game link and all that good stuff. But it also has the games listed below, so I can see a direct game link to the one that's just been created in the previous video as well. As you also saw in the players game list, my Cruel Intent dealer had put in a tender for one of the games, and that is listed here. So you can see my existing tenders as a dealer. One of the games was cancelled, so it shows there, even though I had the tender in, the game has been cancelled. So it lists it for my information, and it's good to know. This game here, it says it's awaiting the player decision, which is important. Obviously, it lists in the player's game. It gives them the option to confirm and pay. But at this point in my games page as a dealer, I have the option to remove my tender. So if at the point I put in the tender I'm available, then great. If for one reason or another I become unavailable, then I have the option in my games page to remove my tender, and no harm done. So that's the dealer's game page. It's slightly more complex in as much as it shows all the games. These are all direct links to the games as well. It's just an easier, more visual way of showing where the games are. So in the next video, as a dealer, we're going to show interest in a game, and it's actually a very simple process on Deal My Home Game as a dealer. If we go back to the last page as we were showing in video 4, we're on the dealer's games page, and we can see a list of all the games that are available to us as a player, as a dealer, sorry. So we've got this user TestDMHG1 who's created a couple of games. We'll go with this one on the 1st of August that was created as a test in one of the previous videos. And if I go to that game as a dealer, it looks slightly different. Obviously I still get the map with a general idea of where it is. Remember, this isn't accurate, but it gives us an idea that it's in Cumnor, and that's fine. But importantly, as a dealer, I get this button here, and you should only click this button if you're available to play, if you're available to work the game, obviously. And clicking that button, obviously, will email the player immediately. So if I click this button now, as I have done, I'll get a pop-up saying that the interest has been saved, and the player will get an email. It also tells me that I will get an email if the player chooses me to deal the game, and that's great. It also changes the layout of the page for the game, and it tells me that my interest in the game has already been noted. So obviously you can't put in more than one tender for any given game. But once that's done, if I go back to my games page, I should be able to scroll down and see that I've now got an existing tender for the 1st of August, and I'm awaiting the player's decision.